this is the best way to repair your rust. So on this old truck, it's a GMT 400 truck, so 88 to 98 Chevrolet pickup truck, Suburban, Tahoe. There's some year variants in there for the SUVs. But it's real common you see these old trucks with rust on them, especially across the top. Every time we get one in, we cut it out. We always find rust. This one was victim to some hack who scarred the hell out of this truck and just slapped it together. No care in the world. So it caused a ton of rust. This thing had scaling rust and everything across it. What we did to fix that is I get in here, we strip all this out, clean it up real good with acetone, and then we use an epoxy primer. So that epoxy primer, oh, I don't have a labeled can, so it doesn't matter. That epoxy primer, we put it on in 2 coats and then give it a day's worth of dry time where it gets good and hard. We'll go back and scuff it and put urethane primer on it. We'll come back and show you a little bit of that. All right, from here, we just take a little bit of red Scotch-Brite, scuff it up. Now here's a good example of how well this stuff dries. We applied it yesterday. I'm giving it a quick wipe with acetone. Well, I was going to say none of it comes off, but we're getting a little bit off on the rag. But we're just going to get it good and cleaned up here. And then we'll go back and put our urethane manufacturer primer on it. Last time I talked about urethane primer, I think somebody actually was confused and thought I meant urethane primer like in a body shop. All right, somebody's going to say something about me holding the primer can while standing up in the vehicle, but that's what I do. You do you. We're going to prime up high on this thing, and I know it's probably not going to look the best, but we're just doing the best rust repair we can for this fella, and I don't want any of the gray hanging out from the epoxy primer. So we're just going to get a real high line and try to get it nice and straight for him. Somebody's probably going to say something about me double dipping my dauber, but our surface here is super good and clean, and I'm not too particularly worried about cross-contamination, just due to how clean of a surface I'm working off of. And we go through our cans of primer so fast that we don't have to worry about the primer starting to get contaminated and drying up before it's ready to use. So we got a fresh coat, urethane primer on it right here. We're going to give that a few minutes to flash off. As soon as it gets good and flashed, we'll probably throw one more coat on it. And we'll also do a little handgun action on this one for you. Tech tip on domestic windshield 1217s. What I like to do on these to get them to fit up against the roof real well on these, because as these glasses have gotten older, you can't get them to fit as flush to the roof as they used to be able to. So I come back with a flat trim tool. Squeeze behind you there. Come back with a flat trim tool, and I trim it flat against the edge of the glass so there's no encapsulation hanging. And then I put a bevel on the back side of this encapsulation here. Now it looks ugly on the bottom, but it's going to be hidden and nobody's ever going to see it. But that allows you to get this glass fit flush to that roof, and it looks stand up. All right, if you want to see us running the bead, Handgun Wednesday, go check it out. All right, these windshields can be a little aggravating in a one-man set. So they come from the factory with screws in the bottom, and there was encapsulation on the bottom, and they have V-cuts, or the screws would be drove through the encapsulation to hold it in position. On this one of them was already ripped off, so I cut the other one off, and the screws happen to be in the right position that it holds it up to the height that I want, and I'll manipulate the windshield once I lay it down in the hole. They're also kind of hard to figure out center sometimes when you're sitting by yourself, so I've got a line.
Oh, get wind it up!
So, Sarah's a loser. So I've got a line above this wiper mark here, above this wiper, so that I can run off of and see my center in my head or see my center on the glass when I get ready to set it. Don't elbow ding your customers' hoods. Am I lining up? I think I'm lining up. Right about there. Make sure everything's going down into place. Get a little tape. God, I use my right hand way more on that hand pump because they feel very unbalanced right now. But
sign off.
all right. So I want those screws at the bottom to fit tight because I want it to hold pressure. So this glass stays nice and tight against that roof line. And like I said, when you cut a bevel in the top side of the encapsulation on these, it really helps you to get this thing nice and tight and flush. As flush as it's going to get. I think I got a spot that I didn't quite cut the bevel as much as I could have right there, and it's fighting me to get really flush. Yeah, the other side fits a little better, but well, I tell you what, this thing is night and day better than how it showed up to us. So, completed the rust repair project for this customer. When we went out to it, the whole windshield was cutting loose and pushing away from it. This thing was in pretty rough shape. It was almost to the point of having holes. So we ground it all down, got all the rust cut out, and then made sure we primed it with epoxy primer, sealed everything in, locked it in, and that job should outlast the truck. I say that, it's a GM. Maybe not, you know. So, rust repair in your shop, you guys got to try some epoxy primer. Get some stuff that you got to mix with the hardener, and mix it up in a paint cup. Brush it on with a dauber. You're gonna have about a day worth of dry time, but boy, let me tell you, the finished product, the finalized product you get for the customer is so much better than just using urethane primer.